Welcome to Vysh IAS. So we'll be continuing with the Plums series of Polity Governance and Schemes today. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing this channel so that you will be getting daily free updates on UPSC. And if you're looking for a good quality test series, then you can contact the number which is given on the screen 7200681675. Now come to the first question. With reference to India, which of the following statements are correct with respect to the removal of Vice President? So A reads, a resolution of Rajya Sabha passed by special majority and by Lok Sabha with an absolute majority. Then second reads, a resolution of Rajya Sabha passed by effective majority and Lok Sabha with simple majority. C reads, the resolution of Rajya Sabha with simple majority and agreed by Lok Sabha with simple majority. And the final statement, it reads, resolution of Rajya Sabha by collective majority and Lok Sabha by collective majority. So here in this case, even though it's a simple question, many students, especially beginners, they'll be committing a mistake. So first of all, you have to be very clear on the concepts relating to the types of majorities. What do you mean by simple majority? What do you mean by special majority? Then effective, collective, all these types of majorities you have to learn from the Lakshmikant. And this sometimes question they'll be asking directly on the majority, on the name of majority, they'll give effective majority. Otherwise, they can also give the then members, majority of the then members, that is also effective majority, no? So sometimes statements can be given like that also. So it's important that you have to be very clear on the concept. So here it is asking about vice president. Okay, vice president means the chairman of Rajya Sabha. And similarly, there is a procedure for the removal of the chairman or the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha, which is a speaker. Okay, so both these concepts you have to make a comparative analysis. So in this case, it's a standard fact, and the correct answer is the resolution of Rajya Sabha. It should be passed by the effective majority, and the Lok Sabha should agree to it with a simple majority. So with respect to Rajya Sabha, it's effective majority, and Lok Sabha, it's simple majority. Okay, so the correct answer comes out to be option number B. Okay. Now come to the next question. Which of the following is the most important function performed by the Constitution? Again, this is a concept based question, and here if you read the options clearly, you can see that you will be unable to pick one option out of it. Okay, so the options are very similar. It is very close. Okay, so first statement, it reads, Constitution provides for the set of basic rules that allow for the minimal coordination amongst the members of the society. Yeah, it makes sense. Second, the Constitution provides for the procedure to constitute a government. This is also true. Then third, Constitution protects the right of people of a country by providing for a limited government. Limited government we have seen in previous question papers also. Okay, this is a keyword. Then D, Constitution empowers government to fulfill the aspirations of a society and create conditions for a just society. So how are you going to pick one statement out of this? So in the question itself, UPSC is giving a hint, most important function. So UPSC is indirectly telling all these are functions. Yes, I agree, but you have to pick which is the most important function, which is the most relevant one. Okay, so there is no other way. You have to think logically and go for elimination. Okay, so if you look at the first statement, it is providing for a basic rules that allow for minimal coordination. Is it making sense? Yes, no? So why would we need a competition? Why would we need a constitution at the first place? We are all are coming from varied backgrounds. Okay, and in each and every country they'll be having people from different backgrounds. They'll be coexisting. So the primary need of those people is that peaceful coexistence. Okay, peaceful coexistence is the primary need of a country. Okay, so there should be minimal coordination. No one should be interfering in others matters. Okay, it is not like in a complete independence. There should be minimal coordination, and a healthy competition and coordination should be there. So for that there should be a basic set of rules. If there wouldn't have been any rules, we'll be acting as if we are liking. Okay, so there will be no one to control us. So there should be a base set of basic rules which will be allowing for a minimum level of coordination so that everyone can coexist. So this is an important function. Second, if you read the statement, it provides for a procedure to constitute a government. So is it too irrelevant for becoming an important function of Constitution? Is it too narrow? So the one side of Constitution is given in the statement. Constituting a government is just one function of Constitution. Okay, so it is not a it is not that much important function. It is just one part. Constitution, it is a broader term, and it is not only referring to the government side, it is also referring to the broader entity, people, civil society, etc. So this statement you can confidently eliminate. This is not the correct answer, because it can't be the most important function, since it is a narrow statement. It is talking only about constituting a government. Then come to the next statement. Constitution protects the right of the people of a country by providing for limited government. Yes, it is also making sense. So we have to choose between similar to the A, option number A. C also we have to keep it C also we have to keep it in reserve. Let's check. Okay, then come to the next, D. Constitution empowers government to fulfill the aspirations of a society and create conditions for a just society. Okay, so out of this A, C and D, A and C are making more sense than D, even though D is also making sense. The last statement is also making sense. 1 and C, A and C, it seems to be more important, since it is talking about limited government, rights of people, basic rules. Basically, the function of constitution is that only. Okay, so empowering government to fulfill the aspirations of society. No, it is not true. Okay. It is true, but it can't be the most important function. It is not actually empowering the government. Sometimes it's limiting the government also. More than that, the framing of basic rules becomes important with respect to this question. So now we have to choose between A and C. So if you compare A and C, which one seems to be important? More than rights, we need a basic set of rules. Okay, so if rules are going well, then out of that rules, over a period of time, people will be claiming their rights. So in the first place itself, if they are going to claim their rights, then there will be a chaos. Okay, there will be chaos in the country, and there will be an unorganized set of governance in the country. So in the first place, there should be a set of basic rules, and there should be a coordination. After that only this stage comes, the claiming of rights and all. So in that sense, you can actually eliminate option number C also. So the correct answer comes out to be A, that is the constitution is providing for a set of basic rules that allow for minimal coordination amongst the members of society. Okay. Now come to the next question. The authorization for the withdrawal of funds from the Consolidated Fund of India must come from. Okay, so you have to learn the different kinds of constitutional funds: Consolidated Fund of India, Public Account of India, Contingency Fund of India, and who are the main key stakeholders included in that. Okay, who is giving the approval? All those information you should be aware of. Okay, so if you look at Consolidated Fund of India, this is more of a factual kind of question, and it is stated in Lakshmikant as it is. Okay, so the authorization, it should come from Parliament of India, because Consolidated Fund of India, it is actually guarded by Parliament only. Okay, that's why we are calling ourselves as a parliamentary form of government. So Consolidated Fund of India, if the executive organ has to take any money from the Consolidated Fund of India, Parliament is the one who should give the approval. Okay, so the correct answer comes out to be B. Now come to the next question. According to the Constitution of India, it is the duty of the President of India to cause to be laid before the Parliament which of the following, and 4 reports are given. You can take a pause and read those reports. So if you look at this statement, which of the reports are to be laid before the Parliament by the President? Okay, so although the options seems to be more or less similar, you have to pick the correct out of it. Okay, so in this aspect, the report of Public Accounts Committee, it is not the duty of President to give the report of Public Accounts Committee. So this is an important factual point. If any one of you have missed this point in Lakshmikant, please note down this point. The report of Public Accounts Committee, it is not laid by the President towards the Parliament. So if you can eliminate 2. When 2 is eliminated, you can reach the answer 1, 3 and 4. Okay, so 2 is eliminated. The other reports, those are important reports only, and if you need, you can note it down. The reports of Auditor General, CAG, okay, then annual report of UPSC, then the reports of Finance Commission, then the special officers report. I'm talking about the special officers of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Their special officers are there. Okay, their reports should be laid. Then the report of National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes. Then the next report is the report of National Commission for Backward Classes. These are the reports which the President which the president lays before the parliament. Okay, the other report, public accounts committee, it is not laid. Okay, so you can note down this point. It will be helpful with respect to the elimination. Okay, now come to the next question. What is the provision to safeguard the autonomy of Supreme Court of India? So if you look at the organs of the state, there is legislature, executive and judiciary. So all these organs, they are having their own domains, and there is a certain level of autonomy being granted to all these organs. So in this autonomy, the question is asking about what is the autonomy provisions of Supreme Court. Okay, then the first statement reads, while appointing the Supreme Court judges, the President of India has to consult the Chief Justice of India. Then second reads, the Supreme Court judges can be removed by Chief Justice of India only. Then the salaries of the judges are charged on the Consolidated Fund of India, to which legislature does not have to vote. Then all appointments of officers and staffs of Supreme Court are made by government only after consulting the Chief Justice of India. So the questions, this is exactly the way UPSC is going to frame the questions. So you have to, what you have to do in the first instance is that in these factual kind of questions, the multi-statement questions, no, UPSC will be giving some hint. They'll be tweaking the questions. Okay, so that friction points you have to find out. That's your job. Okay, so come to the last statement. All appointments of officers and staffs of Supreme Court are made by government. So is it making sense? No, it is the officers and staffs. Is the Supreme Court, it is very powerful body. Okay, so can the staffs of Supreme Court be appointed by the government? Supreme Court is having that much vast powers, and will the Supreme Court allow such a provision? Executive is coming and intervening. So if you know the polity, if you have read the polity, you can see that there have been instances of frequent struggles between these two organs. Who is powerful, executive or judiciary? So there have been a range of cases also. So in that condition, will the Supreme Court allow its staffs, officers, let it be aside? Okay, you can make a assumption that maybe government has a hand in appointing the officers, but the staffs of Supreme Court, there is no chance it can be appointed by the government. Okay, so this is the problem with this statement, the last statement. So you can eliminate the last statement. So we are eliminating B, C and D. Okay, so this is how you have to search for the low hanging fruits, which can be probably wrong. Okay, so if you are going from the first, if you are going with the order, you are first reading the first statement. Okay, initially you have to read, that is enough. But after the initial reading, the consecutive reading, no, before reaching at the answer, you can go from the bottom options, because UPSC will be giving these kind of weird statements in the last options. Okay, in the fourth or fifth statements, they'll be giving these kind of wordings. Okay, you can easily pick it up. Okay, so if you look at the first statement, this is the answer. Actually, I have taught you how to apply the elimination technique and how to apply the logical reasoning. So what is the problem with the other statements? Let's look. Okay, while appointing the Supreme Court judges, President of India has to consult Chief Justice. It's a simple fact. It is correct. Then second, the Supreme Court judges can be removed by Chief Justice of India only. No. If you look at the constitution, there is a separate provision for the removal of Supreme Court judges, which is similar to the provision of the removal of Election Commission of India. Okay, so Parliament is involved in the removal of Supreme Court judges, and there is a defined procedure also. Okay, so the second statement is incorrect. Then the salaries of the judges are charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. That means this statement is talking about the charged expenditure part. Okay, so in the heading charged expenditure also you are having some provisions which are coming under the charged expenditure. So that also you can make a table and remember. Okay, so that is also important. So this is also a factual statement. Then we have noted the other statement, all appointments of officers and staffs. So you can actually come to the conclusion that since Supreme Court is that powerful body, and in India we are having the autonomy of all the three organs, no organ will be allowing the other organ to intervene above a threshold. So the staffs of Supreme Court, it is that narrow provision. So Supreme Court won't be allowing the other organ to take a hand in this appointment. You can think like that. Okay, so the correct answer comes out to be 1 and 3 only. Okay. that's the end of today's session. So we'll meet in the next week in the next episode. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.